All right, let's jump straight into Shetland Season 10, Episode 3, because this one is wild. Secrets unravel, families fracture, and the village of Lunaswick spirals into chaos. If you thought this mystery was going to be simple, think again. The stakes are high, every character's got something simmering, and by the end of the episode, we're left staring at a board crisscrossed with red string and more questions than ever. So buckle up because I'm breaking down everything, the desperate actions, the big betrayals, and that haunting ending. We kick off with the police investigating the chilling case of Edie Tulloch's murder. She was found dead in the remote Lunaswick area, and her death is shrouded in questions. How long had she been there? At least a couple days, and immediately the detectives wonder who would bring her out into the wild like that. But for murder, Edie wasn't just a random victim. Her life threads through the Shetland community, especially in children's services. And as we learn, her work left marks on several families. Early on, we meet Stevie Shannon, who's got a clouded past and is under suspicion, at first just quietly. But after forensics reveal a third set of fingerprints at Edie's crime scene, things get tense. The prints could belong to Stevie, but she's sticking to her alibi, never went to Lunaswick, never contacted Edie, not involved. Yet there's a crack in her story. Taxi records place someone fitting her description in Lunaswick last week. The police are questioning everyone. Amy Shannon, as Stevie's older sister, is fiercely protective, believing Stevie's innocent and blaming the system for their mother's overdose and family tragedy. But she's also suing social services, painting a big target on her back in the local bureaucracy. And meanwhile, Chris and Haley Burnett, a couple visiting Shetland for over their heads. Haley's restaurant business is in serious debt, and they've got to deal with drug dealers. You deliver a rucksack to the right people in Shetland, clear their debts, and walk away free. But things go from risky to absolutely off the rails in no time. The plan to hand off the drugs is thrown into chaos thanks to the murder investigation. Police everywhere, schedules shifting, and the tension ramping up. Haley's stress boils over when a nosy neighbor, a Colin Waite, gets suspicious and confronts her in the shed. Panic takes over, and in a moment of fear, Haley strikes him, nearly killing him. This isn't just a minor scuffle. Colin ends up with a fractured skull, sparking even more police heat in Lunaswick. Back with the community, family drama spills into the streets. Jess Jameson is pregnant, but no one's saying who the father is. The secret's circling T. Is Ethan Stone involved? The truth creeps out, fueling resentment between the Jamesons and Stones. With two families with deep roots in the island's Kirk Church. Tom, Jess's father, is ill and unable to work. The family even has to sell off his tools and van to scrape by. Stress turns physical when tensions explode between Tom and Ethan, Jess's possible boyfriend and baby's father. As these domestic threads unfold, every relationship starts to feel like a loaded gun, a powder keg waiting for the right spark. Police detectives Tosh and Ruth juggle all these threads, but the forensic clues keep twisting things up. The rope that killed Edie was a maritime knot, a running bowline suggesting the killer's familiar with the sea, which describes half of Shetland's population. Prints at Edie's house don't line up neatly, and fibers collected are useless thanks to recent weather. Forensics are making progress, but not enough to tie a bow on the case. Now, the Burnetts try desperately to escape, believing the only way out is to board the mainland ferry before police close in. But it's a race against time. Sirens wail, roadblocks appear, and even their attempt to slip onto the ferry on foot is met with the police waiting for them. Haley and Chris are arrested, not just for assault, but for major drug possession. The rucksack had nearly 2 kilos of heroin. This isn't petty crime. And the Burnetts' story goes from stressful holiday to full-blown criminal disaster. During their interrogation, Haley confesses to her business disaster, painting the picture of how COVID, inflation, and debt forced her into the hands of dark financiers, gangsters posing as businessmen. The Calligans, a notorious local crime family, are named as the masterminds behind the operation, using Haley and Chris as couriers. They were never meant to be criminals, just desperate people dragged in way too deep. Chris tries to take all the blame, begging the police to spare Haley for the sake of their daughter, Chloe. The detectives realize the Burnetts aren't hardened gangsters, they're victims of circumstance, collateral damage, in Shetland's hidden criminal trade. But what about Edie's murder? Tosh and Billy, the investigating team, theorize that the Burnetts got caught in the crossfire. The heightened police presence in Lunaswick after Edie's killing ruined the handover of the drugs, potentially saving the Burnetts from a successful deal but putting them in the spotlight for a crime they didn't commit. Tosh pushes further. If Edie's death isn't tied to the drug operation, then who did it? And why? Are the fingerprints proof, or was Stevie just another bystander drawn in by tragic history? Meanwhile, financial records from Tulloch family raise suspicions. Tosh uncovers years of unexplained cash deposits, suggesting that Edie's husband, Robert, a former policeman, may have been corrupt. This chilling subplot gives the murder a new angle. Was Edie killed because she knew too much about her husband's illicit dealings, or is there an even darker connection between the old Shetland power families and the present-day crime? Ruth warns Tosh not to tell anyone yet. The stakes for outing a possibly corrupt cop are enormous, especially one who's dead and can't defend himself. As the episode closes, Stevie breaks down with Amy, confessing she did go to Edie's house, watched her through the window, but was too scared to do anything. Stevie's paranoia is rising. Believing the police have already decided she's guilty, Amy promises to stick by her, but there's no easy path to redemption. The Burnetts, locked up and facing serious charges, get 5 precious minutes with their daughter before reality sets in. Over in the family homes, Tom's health falters, tempers flare, and the community feels like it's on the brink of collapse. So, where does that leave us? We've got the Burnetts in custody, but their story is more tragic than criminal. The Tulloch money trail hints at corruption. The Shannon sisters' foster history offers a motive for anger and betrayal, and old secrets threaten to tear families apart. There's no neat resolution, just heartbreak, suspicion, and a sense that Shetland's cozy surface is hiding something rotten deep beneath. What an episode, right? Shetland never pulls its punches, and episode 3 proves it. The murder mystery gets more complex. The characters feel all too real in their pain and desperation, and you can't help but wonder who really killed Edie and what will be left of these families when the truth finally comes out. If you've got theories about who's lying, who's innocent, and what's coming next in Shetland Season 10, let me know in the comments below. Drop a like if you're loving the recaps. Share this with your fellow crime drama fans. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives. See you next time.